Sturgeon walking on thin ice as SNP Crackdown turned furious over Omicron cases went through the roof. Nicola Sturgeon has addressed the recalled Scottish Parliament on Wednesday amid skyrocketing Omicron cases. Almost 30,000 cases of coronavirus were reported over the festive weekend in Scotland, with Boxing Day seeing the highest number recorded since the start of the pandemic at 11,030. Over 10,500 cases were recorded on Tuesday. Ms. Sturgeon said on Wednesday afternoon that Omicron was now the dominant strain, and rapidly developing in Scotland. The First Minister said in a virtual address that caution was key when assessing hospitalisations and subsequent stress on the health services. She said that 80% of all cases in Scotland were now identified as the Omicron variant, and that case numbers had increased by 47% on the previous week. She warned that the full impact of the Christmas period is not yet known, but the spread of Omicron will likely see a further spike in cases in weeks and months ahead. She said that everyone, over the New Year's period and beyond, should stay at home more than usual, pushing for ventilation and limits on household mixing. The First Minister, responding to calls from the Scottish Conservatives leader, Douglas Ross, said that no changes to the current 10-day isolation period will be instituted until after further review. England cut the isolation time for those who test negative for 2 consecutive days from 10 to 7 days last week. But whilst England has no new COVID-19 restrictions in place, Scotland reimposed a number of coronavirus measures on Boxing Day, along with Wales and Northern Ireland. Limits on large events came into force on December 26, including a cap of 100 people at indoor standing events and 200 people at indoor seated events. The following day saw the closure of nightclubs, a 1-metre distance rule for hospitality and no more than 3 households in a group. The measures enraged the hospitality industry in Scotland, with Scottish ministers accused of excessive caution in putting the measures back in place. This anger from pubs, restaurants, and other businesses relying on steady flows of customers was heightened by their reliance on New Year's Eve trade. After the First Minister announced the restrictions, William Lees-Jones, owner of J.W. Lees Pubs, responded by barring Ms. Sturgeon from his premises for life. He said the restrictions would hit the already struggling hospitality sector hardest of all, warning that many businesses could fold for good. Ms. Sturgeon said, "This level of infection will also cause a significant and severely disruptive level of sickness absence across the economy and critical services. So even though we are all thoroughly fed up with the impact of COVID on our lives, it is really important that over the New Year period we follow guidance to help slow the spread of the virus while we complete the accelerated booster programs." New Year's Eve celebrations have largely been cancelled in accordance with the new rules, including the annual Edinburgh Hogmanay festivities known for attracting tourists from all over the world. The First Minister specified, large-scale Hogmanay celebrations, including that planned here in our capital city, will not be able to proceed. Ahead of the Christmas weekend, Ms. Sturgeon had appealed to Scots to follow recommended advice, rather than legal restrictions. She told Scottish Parliament a week before Christmas Eve, "Before and immediately after Christmas, please minimise your social mixing with other households as much as you can. However, if you do plan on socialising, either at home or in indoor public places, we are asking that you limit the number of households represented in your group to a maximum of 3. And make sure you test before you go." Wales and Northern Ireland also brought in renewed restrictions after Christmas Day, with Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford announcing that, as of Boxing Day, nightclubs will be shut and the rule of 6 reinstated. A maximum of 30 people can now attend indoor events and 50 people can gather at outdoor events. Nightclubs also shut their doors in Northern Ireland, with a new ban on indoor standing events. The rule of 6 also made a reappearance for those in Northern Ireland.